Everyone. Today we're going to talk about ad targeting algorithms and how they're used in digital advertising. In the past, advertising was mostly done through newspapers, TV, or with the help of ad agencies. But now, with the internet, advertising has changed a lot. Big online platforms like Google and Facebook play a huge role in this change. What is ads targeting? Ad targeting algorithms are basically the engine behind digital advertising today. They help deliver ads that feel personal and relevant to each other. It all starts with collecting a lot of data. This includes things like what people search for, what websites they visit, and how they behave online. Once that data is collected, it's clean and organized so it can be used properly. Then the data is analyzed to figure out details like age, interests, and online habits. After that, machine learning models come into play. These models, ranging from simple ones to more advanced systems like neural networks, use the data to predict what each user might be interested in seeing. What's really cool is these algorithms keep learning. They get real-time updates, which helps them adjust and improve over time. This way, they can show the right ads to the right people based on both past behavior and what's happening right now. Advertisers also keep an eye on how well their ads are doing by tracking things like click through rates. This helps them fine tune their strategies to match their goals and response to how audiences are changing.
Algorithm overview. Targeting algorithms are central to modern digital advertising using a complex strategy to deliver personalized advertisement to specific user group. The process starts with gather large volume of data from various sources, including user input, behavior, and contextual information. The raw data is then cleaned and processed to extract meaningful features such as demographics, behavior patterns, and environmental signal. The features are used to train machine learning models from simple methods like logistic regression to more appro- approaches such as neural network, historical data to forecast user interest and action. Algorithms are appropriate for each user factoring and similarities among user, the surrounding context, and the like of engagement, performance indicators, and conversion rates help measure effectiveness in it, enable ongoing improvements and ensuring that the targeting strategies remain aligned with shifting marketing goals and audience behavior.
Big O notation. The time complexity of an ad targeting algorithm can be expressed as order of n times m, where n denotes the total number of users and m represents the computational cost associated with the analyzing each user's data and determining appropriate ad placements. Formulation. So time complexity increases linearly with the number of users n, leading to greater computational demands as the user base expands. Per user, processing complexity M encompasses the computational task involved in managing each user's data, influenced by factors like feature count, model complexity, and input data size. The algorithm's time complexity is represented as order of n times m, highlighting its scalability based on user base size and per user processing cost. This notation though is useful for evaluating the algorithm's performance and facilitating comparisons across different datasets and scenarios.
Ad targeting algorithms are used by big companies to show the right ads to the right people. For example, Facebook. Facebook can find new people similar to your existing customers by looking at things such like interest and behavior. The second example is TikTok. TikTok watches the kinds of videos you enjoy and then shows you the ads that match your interest, like showing makeup. If you often watch beauty videos, even Netflix uses similar ideas to decide which movie or show to promote for you on the homepage. This system uses data and simple patterns in your behavior to feel ads feel more personal and relevant. These are the strengths of ad targeting algorithm. Ad targeting algorithm excels in delivering personalized and relevant ads by utilizing extensive data sources. They analyze user information, including demographics, social behavior, browsing history, purchase intent, and social interactions to create detailed profiles. This predictive capability surpasses human accuracy and enabling targeted engagement and conversion for advertisers. The algorithm is dynamic and evolving with changes in user behavior and market trends to maintain effectiveness. As a result, they serve as a vital tool for digital marketers seeking timely and relevant audience engagement. Targeting algorithms are limited by privacy concerns as personal data collections raises ethical and legal issues. Users often resist full tracking due to these concerns. Algorithms may misinterpret user behavior, leading to irrelevant or intrusive advertisements. There is a risk of reinforcing biases, as historical data can perpetuate outdated stereotypes. Large data requirements pose challenges for smaller companies with limited resources. Advertisers may distrust automated systems due to their complexity and lack of transparency. The effectiveness of targeted ads is reduced when users utilize ad blockers or privacy tools.
For more information, please watch the animated video Iuli by Mike Love.
Privacy has been changing. This is a long and complicated story, and a deep dive into it would involve examinations of tyrannical regimes, seminal works of fiction, the evolution of surveillance technologies, and a detailed discussion of the ethical and philosophical perspectives on the nature of privacy itself. This is only a 5-minute video, but there's one aspect in particular of privacy in the 21st century which I think merits discussion: advertising. Which I know compared to those other topics might not sound that incendiary, but the rise of targeted advertising is a good indicator of how our expectation of privacy has changed. You've probably experienced that now commonplace online occurrence where you Google a new product, then start seeing adverts for it everywhere. And while we generally accept that this is the way the internet works these days, you have to admit such a brazen reminder we're being watched is a bit creepy. More unsettling still is when you've only mentioned that product in face-to-face conversation. How does the internet know about that? Looking for the simplest explanation, it's hard to ignore the microphone you're carrying around in your pocket. And you don't have to be wearing a tinfoil hat to start drawing some fairly alarming conclusions. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, I should say that while I definitely understand the logic of that thought process, personally, I'm pretty confident your phone isn't listening to your conversations in order to advertise to you. Primarily because the risks far outweigh anything that companies would stand to gain. I'm not saying they wouldn't gain anything from listening in, I'm just saying they don't have to. Because when it comes to targeting you with weirdly specific adverts, they've already got all the information they need. Let me explain. Advertising is all about demographics, dividing people up into categories. The more information a company has about you, the more specific they can make the adverts you see. As an example of just how far this can go, let's look at what we share with Facebook, one of the more notable offenders. First, there's the basics: age, job, relationship status. Already these put you in some demographic boxes. But you also post on Facebook about your hobbies, ones you do regularly, ones you've tried, or even just want to try. Maybe you join groups for TV shows or films you like, or follow your favorite authors, actors, content creators. All of this data can be and is harvested, and all of it represents advertising demographics that Facebook is putting you in. But it doesn't end there. You might check into places you go, favorite restaurants, your gym, or tourist attractions, in which case Facebook knows you're traveling. And even if you don't check in, if the app has access to location services, it knows where you are most of the time anyway. Forget about Facebook knowing where you shop online. It knows where you shop in real life. You freely shared all of this information with Facebook, and its terms of service let it use that data however it wants, which includes trading it with other companies. But where do the face-to-face conversations come in? Well, Facebook doesn't only have this information on you, they also have it on your friends, as well as knowing how much you speak to and see those friends. Combining all of this data adds a whole new dimension. Meet three friends, Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Alice buys product X online. A week later, Alice goes to see Bob. 3 days after that, Bob buys product X. And when, a few days later, Alice goes to see Charlie, Facebook's algorithm starts to do its thing. Based on knowing about the three friends' shared interests, Alice's purchase, Alice and Bob's interaction, and Bob's subsequent purchase, Facebook deduces that A. Alice probably told Bob about product X. B. She might also have told Charlie about product X. And C. Even if she didn't, Charlie might be interested anyway. Soon after, Charlie starts seeing adverts for product X. Now, if Alice didn't tell Charlie, Charlie has no reason to think this advert is strange. But if Alice did tell Charlie, then both Alice and Charlie now think these adverts are direct evidence that their phones are listening to them. Even though the reality is far more complicated, and in my opinion, far more alarming. Because my point here isn't, our phones aren't listening to us, so we should all stop worrying. It's sort of the opposite. We should be more concerned that we've freely volunteered enough data about our tastes, movements, and interactions that we've made tapping our phones entirely unnecessary. The bottom line is that however that data was obtained, if it can be triangulated to make accurate predictions about our shopping preferences, the thought of what else it could do should be enough to give us pause. So if you think you're sharing too much personal information or you don't trust the services you're using, you can and should take control of your own data and vote with your feet. Because most of the time on the internet, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Thank you all for watching this here.